Within this course, we're going to be looking at the circle of fifths. Now, the circle of fifths is really useful when it comes to identifying key signatures, the sharps or flats that are attached to any of these keys, and also the relative minor scale that is attached to the major scale. In this course in particular, we're going to be focusing on the sharp keys going round the cycle in a clockwise direction. So if we look at the very top of the diagram, we can see we've got C major. So C major consists of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And as the circle or the diagram tells you, we've not got any sharps or flats in it. So to find the next key, let's say that the diagram disappears. Now, how to find the next key is we count up 5 scale degrees from C. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're playing out of G major. C, D, E, F, G. So we've moved one step round the sequence. So one step or one movement clockwise round the circle, we add a sharp. So if I play the notes within the G major scale using the building blocks we spoke about earlier, which is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, we get G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So G major has one sharp, and that sharp is an F sharp. If we count up 5 scale degrees from G, G, A, B, C, D, we get to our next key signature moving clockwise around the sequence, which is D, D major. So using the building blocks of the major scale, we get D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, then back to D. So D has 2 sharps. It has an F sharp and it has a C sharp. So let's move one more movement round the clockwise direction of the circle. D, E, F, G, A. So 5 scale degrees from D brings us to A. So we're playing out A major. So A major has A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So it has 3 sharps. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Pay attention to the notes that I'm playing here and the way that I'm playing it, because it's going to come in useful later on. So if we count up 5 scale degrees from A, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, brings us to E. So we're playing an E major. One more step around the sequence clockwise, we add a sharp. So E major has 4 sharps. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So let's look at the position of these sharps in the neck. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. Okay, so let's find the next scale within the clockwise direction in the circle. So 5 scale degrees from E takes us to B. So we're playing in B major. We've moved one step round, so we add a sharp. So we've got B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, then back to B. So let's see the position. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. So moving another step round in the clockwise direction from B major, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that takes us to F sharp major. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. So F sharp major, add another sharp, has 6 sharps within it. So you've got F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, I said E sharp, yep, and F sharp. So E sharp, you might be thinking, what are you talking about? An E sharp? An E sharp is clearly an F. Well, only in certain circumstances. So an E sharp and an F are what is known as an enharmonic equivalent. That's easy for me to say. An enharmonic equivalent. So in certain situations, this ain't an F, it's an E sharp. Okay, so that's just something to bear in mind going forward. Now we're on to the final clockwise move around the circle of fifths, and that's going to take us 5 scale degrees from the F sharp, from F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B to C sharp. And C sharp major has 7 sharps in it. So we've got C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, and C sharp. So if we find the placement of these sharps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the last sharp in there is a B sharp. So go back to enharmonic equivalents, where you think a B sharp, surely that's a C. But again, in certain circumstances, certain key signatures or musical scenarios, this C is actually a B sharp. Now let's look at a technique to identify each major sharp key as we take a step around the clockwise circle. So if we start on C major, count 5 scale degrees up, we get to G. But if we start this G major scale from the G on the 5th fret of the D string, it requires a wee bit of shift to get to the end of it. So the most economical way to play this scale would be to play it down the octave. So we can look at that as a perfect fourth away from C. Or we can just look at it and consider it the 5th scale degree down the octave. So the difference there is the scale degrees are all related to the scale or the key that they come out of. So a G is always a 5th scale degree away from C in relation to the scale. So this G can be played here, 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 or here, and it's still 5 scale degrees away from C. The other way to look at it is it's a perfect fourth down the way. Yeah, so now that that's cleared up, we're going to talk about the movements in relation to intervals, a 5th and a 5th up and a perfect fourth down. Okay, so a C to a G is a perfect fourth down. A G to a D is a perfect 5th up. A G to an A is a fourth down. A to E is a fifth up. E to B is a fourth down. B to F sharp is a perfect fifth up. Then F sharp to C sharp is a fourth down. So if we put that together, we go. So you can see there that it's following the fret markers as we go up the neck. So the fret markers are actually acting as a map to map out the progression, the clockwise progression around the circle of fifths. So that's great. We know how to map out the clockwise movement of the circle going up the neck using the fret markers. So we now need to attach the sharps to each movement up the fretboard. Let's look at an approach that keeps this system of naming the sharps as we go up the neck nice and tidy and contained within the E and the A string. So if we were doing it in the traditional manner of just going up in fifths, you can see very quickly as soon as we get to D sharp, we've run out of notes. Yeah, so we're going to use the same system as we did previously to outline the key signature we're playing within, and that is to move up a fifth, then down a fourth. Yeah, so what I mean by that is F sharp, C sharp, but instead of going to the G sharp up here, which would be perfect fifth away, we're moving a perfect fourth down to catch the G sharp on the E string. And that sequence and that pattern works all the way up the neck. So F sharp, up a fifth, C sharp, down a fourth, G sharp, up a fifth, D sharp, down a fourth, A sharp, up a fifth, E sharp, down a fourth, B sharp.